Just realized I'm muted.
There's no sound.
Oh my god, I did it again. It's okay. Start all over again. Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to be here with you. Happy Father's Day. I am AuroRa. I am the founder of A.U.R.A Hypnosis Healing, Past Life Regression, Entity Removal, as well as the author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe, which is right here, which you can purchase under Amazon, under paper, as well as ebook. You can find it under audiobook under my website risingphoenixaurora.com. To support this video and all videos that we do, all the content that we do, you can support us through Patreon for $4 a month. Rising Phoenix Mystery School there. Thank you. Just wanted to really dedicate this video to the divine masculine, and also it's Father's Day, so I thought it would be a most beautiful day to I know I'm laughing too. So about me being muted, and it's okay. Angel's always trying to make me laugh. But yes, so today would be such a beautiful day to share with you guys. So it's just gonna be a short video since I am in classes all day today, and a short video on this beautiful past life regression aura hypnosis session that I did on a client. So again, to find more information about me, you can find me under Spotify, Rumble. Hit the like button now so people could actually see this video, so that we could get more views. But know that the views are not quite reading accurately there, but that's all I can say on that. Yes, so, and then subscribe if you're new to us. It's an honor to be here with you. Thank you for being here. So yes, let's talk about this. So you saw the title, it's the Archangels and the Multiverse, Galactic History. So such an important session that I had that I wanted to share with the world on Father's Day. Again, in honor to the divine masculine. Beautiful. All right. So it's a session I did on a beautiful incarnation of an archangel, and he's most beautiful. I feel so honored every time I'm able to do any sessions with this beautiful being that I at times can do sessions with. And so this beautiful session I wanted to share with you because of how important it is, and it truly is magnificence. So we start off in the session, and this beautiful being who is in this perspective, he is the expression of Father, which would be Archangel 4. And he is sitting very handsomely. He says he's sitting in a beautiful chair, that this beautiful village that he's overseeing. They call them the protectors, the guardians. And they're overseeing a beautiful village where there are humans, the beginnings of humans there. And these beautiful humans are, what he explains is that they're the beginnings of us developing souls. He also tells me that we're actually not in this. When I ask later on, when I'm talking to the higher self, they say that we're not in this earth. It's not this, even this universe. They said it's a multiverse. It's another verse, which was pretty cool. And okay, so that's the picture there. And then there are, so this beautiful village, they're at the center. And then there's these walls of sorts that are not like castle walls. They're a bit different, but they're very open concept. Everything's open. Even the windows, everything's open. There's a sun there in this multiverse. And this beautiful expression of Archangel 4 is just sitting there, which, in case you haven't heard who Archangel 4 is, he is the first essence that sprung out of Source, who is Divine Father. And the archangels that he is Archangel Michael and Archangel Heliel. Okay, and they're sitting there, and he's sitting there in his full embodiment as this beautiful archangel. And he's very funny, by the way. He's, anytime you talk to Archangel Heliel, they're very funny. So he's sitting there and drinking. He's just really relaxed, like relaxed, say clothing on, even though it's it's a energetic etheric thing that we're seeing through the multiverse. And I explained to him, I asked him, how do you look? Explain. Well, he says, I'm very handsome, very muscular, very tall, very strong. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm just sitting on this beautiful chair that the village people built for me. They handmade it, and it's so beautiful. And there's 7 of us, 7 guardians. He says we telepathically connect to one another, and we're just relaxing here right now. And he says I'm drinking coffee, and he says it's known as the world's best coffee. And he says nothing like your coffee there. Your coffee is has all that um, processed stuff into it. So it's nothing like that. It's like the real coffee beans. And he says this village actually mines the coffee. And he's sitting there with his coffee, and he has he says he had coconut cubes, like kind of like sugar cubes, but they were coconut. Of course, everything's organic, as there's no AI in this realm. Okay. As he's sitting there very relaxed, he's talking to me about his connection with his seven brethren, and how they're at the beginning stages. They're guarding these souls that are evolving. And since we are our multiverse, in this perspective, this multiverse as well has a dark and a light. Very interesting. So, and it has the dark and the light. And what they explain is, all these multiverses are really infinite. There's no limitation to them, and how they're different. Like if you were looking at the rainbow, like different rays of the rainbow, like a different perspective of each verse, right? So in this perspective, it's ancient times, beginnings of times, that they're evolving souls, and their source is beginning to help create them, and they're in the humanoid body, and the village people, they're beginning to develop how to tune in their light and their dark, and how to be in balance with it. Okay, and then from there, as he's drinking his coffee, all of a sudden he says that make sure you guys all can hear me really well. Everything's good? Yeah. Okay. So he says that, oh, here they come again. So he gets notice, a telepathic notice, through the other guardians, these beautiful archangels, and that there is some kind of disruption, say in the Force, like Star Wars, and because remember, they're building the souls in this realm, in this multiverse, and sometimes the souls decide that they become a little corrupted. It's a bit like maybe you're harvesting and you're growing vegetables, and then maybe one of them is bad. You're growing vines of tomatoes, right? And then one of the vines is bad, like it got kind of rotted, or it didn't grow as it was supposed to, but how it's meant to. But the other ones are growing just fine, right? So as they're sitting there, he says that sometimes as they're building and guarding these souls, as they continue to expand, and there's also other souls outside of this perimeter as well. And then yes, there's also female and male and children in this beautiful village. And so going back to the way these walls that are open concept look like, he says that there's 7 of them. So there's actually 7 points, and at the center, it's like a star. At the center is the 8th point. So let's see from there. It's a beautiful 8th point star, which represents the number 8, represents an infinity of creation, the infinity sign, and all that comes with that. Okay, so he's sitting there again. He stands up because he gets telepathic message from his brethren archangels that there is some kind of invasion, some kind of soul has turned dark, and for whatever reason, there's many other souls. They're not just in this perimeter, they're also outside. They're learning to evolve to outside as well. And okay, as he stands up from his beautiful chair, it's like a bit like Marvel. He has this beautiful armor that's been made, and he says it's from the gods, so from source, and the gods have given them these gifts, these 7 archangels. And he says, and I tell him to explain what the armor looks like. He says that it looks like a bit like metal, silver, and also this is not a material world, so this is an etheric, energetic world. But yes, it looks, and then he says that it has 3 very beautiful, special black crystals inside. That when the gods made this metal that became the armor, they infuse 3 black crystals, which are black tourmaline, black onyx, and black obsidian. And so it has pieces of that inside the metal, and it's very divine and special and beautiful. Okay. And as if it gets up, he says all of a sudden it appears, and I ask him, how does it appear? And he says, it's a bit like in your movie Thor, how Thor calls for his hammer. It's like that. It's entwined in the land, and when I call forth upon it consciously, it just comes to me and covers me up throughout my body, my legs. And then, of course, he's Michael, the Divine Father, and he also, again, his sword and his shield come to him, and he's holding them in his palms. So then he starts connecting with his brethren, and his brethren gather up together as there was this supposed it was they try to basically trap them, and they have men also here, and they're also developing the men and the females and the children. And in this perspective, it was all about masculine, so that's why we're sharing this on Father's Day, divine masculine. And in this perspective, half of the men, for whatever reason, they sent them somewhere to another part, but it was a trick by this person that is trying to come and basically battle with them. So they're sending off, they send off this, they're half of the men over to, which is like a 4-day journey. And then they realize, they tricked us, actually, whoever this person is tricked us. And then as they're standing there, they are so they're talking together, and they're talking about what's coming. They sense it, whatever it is. It's a soul that has become corrupted, you can say, that has turned dark. And they explain, so I asked him, okay, who are the 7 archangels? And he said, I said, who are you? He's really funny. He's like, the one and only. So it's Archangel 4. And then he goes into, I said, who are the other ones? And he says, it's Archangel Metatron. He starts off with Archangel Metatron. And I ask him to describe them all. How do they look? And he says, Archangel Metatron, he looks like, Doctor Strange. He kind of looks like him, he says, and he's got beautiful robe. His energy is like his violet flame, purple flame. And he says that his hands have the Metatron cubic star, and he's just shifting everything in his hands in this flame. And they're all just kind of like, oh, here we go again. The souls were trying to help balance them and evolve them, but here they go again. Here comes another one. They have no idea what they're going up against, right? These 7 beautiful first expressions of the divine masculine, of Divine Father. So that's what they represent very much. So Metatron has this beautiful Metatron cubic stars, and it's shifting. All the shapes are shifting in his hands. And then I said, who else is there? He says, Archangel Raphael. He's got his beautiful green emerald flame. He's ignited in it, and he has the caduceus. The caduceus is made up of infinity of snakes, and the snakes come from the land where he calls forth upon, and the snakes come up and they make up this caduceus. So beautiful. And then he says there's also Archangel Uriel. Uriel he has a sword and a a shield like mine. His is on fire, and his energy is like a yellow orange type of energy. And then there's Archangel Gabriel, and he's standing there, and I'm trying to remember as I wrote these down. Archangel Gabriel, what did he have? Oh, yes, thank you. Gave it to me. He had a sword and a shield, and his sword was yellow gold, and it lit up like this beautiful plasmic energy, and he called it the sword of purity. And he's like having a good time with his brothers. He's just kind of laughing, explaining this. He's like, oh, he calls it the sword of purity, whatever that means. um, so that's Gabriel, and then there's Archangel Azrael. And he explains he's the other archangel, and he has these swords that he has right here, like on his back, and they're double pointed. It's kind of like dark, Jedi's, the lightsabers that are double pointed like that, but they're swords, and then he has them here. And then there is the seven. One of the other archangel is Archangel Sandalphon, which is so beautiful because actually I've been connecting Archangel Sandalphon for really, now that I think about it, all my life, because he speaks through music. We'll be channeling him in the future, but he says it's Archangel Sandalphon, and he's like, I was like, what does he look like? Well, he's like, well, first of all, he's very much like, why are you trying to read me? So he's like really like, I guess the human word would be like private, but he has this beautiful, he has energy coming out of his hands, and he is the balance of the red, and he is connected to the organic black flame, and he's holding this flame inside of him, and he can see everything. He's like the type like, oh, what are we gonna do here? We already know we're gonna go into this battle, and we're trying to help these souls evolve, and here we go again. Let's just get it over with. He can see everything, the battle, every single battle, and then he can see how basically, it's just they're gonna win it. Let's just get this over with so I could come back and drink my coffee, right? So that's the way he is. Very to the point, or which as Archangel 4 was talking, he's like, it kind of reminds me of you, how you're like fierce and you're to the point. Let's get this done, right? So that's the 7 archangels. So we have Metatron, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, Azrael, Sandalphon, and 4. Okay, beautiful. So we understand them. Okay, so they're getting ready, and then there's like this female coming in, and she looks dark. She's wearing like a dark cloak. She has a staff with her, and she has millions with her. And I tell him, explain to me, who is she, what's going on? Well, first of all, I can't share who it is, but they explained that it's somebody that's really well known, that has grown rapidly from just a couple hundred people watching on YouTube to over 100,000 watching. And that's what they said, that this person's in that multiverse, interesting enough. And she's really dark. She's a dark sorceress. And she's standing there with the staff, and she's basically has all these people under my control. Well, she's using dark sorcery. And I tell him, well, how's she doing that? How's she using the dark sorcery? And he says, well, there's these powerful, beautiful, benevolent books that they're ancient books of creation that teach you how to use magic, but in a benevolent way. And he says that she's got a hold of this book, and that she has inverted it. He said she's using it dark. He said for whatever reason, as her soul was developing, she decided she was overwhelmed. She became unbalanced with anger, hatred, and lust, is what he said. So with that imbalance of that, she decided that she got a hold of this book, and then she also got a hold of this staff that was actually supposed to be for positive elders within it. It really just reminds you a lot, kind of like the magic, a bit kind of like Maria, but in that multiverse. And then, so then from there, so I say, oh well, you sent half of your men away. So who's gonna go against these millions? And he said, so I tell him, can you explain how she has them under control? And he says she has them under control under a dark spell within the sorcery, and that again the book that she inverted, and they're basically alive, but they're mind controlled within the black spell. So they have no control over their heart, their mind, their vessel. They have no control over it. They're under the dark spell, and she's charming. It's a charm spell, and she's basically the puppeteer, and they're the puppets, and they can't seem to break out of this spell. And he says there's millions of them. It's like, wow. So then he explained how that is similar to what this person is doing through her YouTube platform with these people. Whoever tunes into her YouTube channel, she mind controls them and charms them to think that she's loving and charming, but she's not actually. She's a dark sorceress still. Still practices physically, consciously dark sorcery. So then from there he goes to explaining, okay, so I said, okay, so who's going to go against these millions that she has under my control? And going back to Archangel Michael's sword has this ability where if his soul is too corrupted, it recalibrates his soul and it sends it back to source. If they, you can't assist them, they're too corrupted or too much not in this time. There was inversions, but there was still darkness and light again, people trying to find their way before even they created the dimensions, before they created planetary spheres. It's like they're like evolving experiments of the souls and how we can evolve them to then evolution of the creation of the multiverse. And also keep in mind, this is a different multiverse too than ours. So then yes, they're going up against the millions, and then I said, how are you gonna go against them? And he just chuckles and laughs. It's just 7. We're gonna go against these million. I was like, oh, okay. So what happens is that they start going up against these millions, and they're stopping them because they're trying to go after the village people that this sacred village is about, and they're trying to go after the families there and the children and so on. So they're stopping them. Some of them have to be returned back to source, but eventually this dark sorceress starts getting aggravated and mad because she's been able to go to other villages and basically take over them. That's how she gained all these million men that she has under this dark spell. And she's getting really mad because obviously she has no idea what she's up against. I mean, this dark being up against benevolence, 7 archangels, first incarnations, first essences of source, that are multiverse, that are infinite in power. There's no way that so this is a really lesson for us to remember, and how divinely powerful we are, and how dark people like that, dark sorcerers, people who just really mean ill intent and whatever, and their dark curses and spells, whatever they try, that they really have no power over us if we're standing in our sovereignty and divine light, divine love, light of source. So it's just like he explains, it's kind of like where we look like superheroes. We're just like, we're so fast, they can't stop us. And then she's getting aggravated, and she calls forth on a council of the 4 elders, a council of 4, and because they're basically connected to this elder staff that she attained, that she wasn't meant to be having. When these council of 4, and they're ancient beings of creation of the multiverse, and they're part of assisting the Archangel 4 explains that they're part of assisting the universes and maintaining them balanced. So those beautiful balance of the dark and the light, they're part of that to ensure that nothing in this time and space, like nothing, becomes too evil or too corrupted. So when she calls on them through this elder staff, they come around her and they said, "What are you doing? You're not supposed, you attacked the wrong village. You shouldn't have been attacking any village. You're corrupting the staff and our sacred teachings." And they basically strip her of her power, and they strip all this of the dark sorcery that she was doing. The staff, they take the staff, the sacred staff that she wasn't supposed to be using to mind control people, they take it away from her and they strip her of her power. And in that time, in that space, interesting enough, she recycles back to source. And for whatever reason, this being is still in our verse, in the multiverse. So that's what they do, and they basically stop it. And at that point, the spell is broken from all these mind-controlled people, zombie type controlled people that are under that dark spell. It breaks, and the people are free, and then they continue to evolve and evolve. And then he's very happy because they get to go back and sit down and drink their most magnificent coffee and enjoy the rest of the time that they're learning. And the way he explains is that eventually this realm of existence that was at the beginning of time, as so many souls evolved, in infinite of souls evolved from this realm of the multiverse, that eventually they become they finish their role there, and they become like he's, the way he explained it is like statued, but it's not anything like that they're frozen in the statue. They just become statued. And you see, like when you buy statues and maybe you put them around your home or your land, they represent the essences of creation and all the different benevolence of the archangels, the gods. If you the majority of all of you who are listening will have a fractal, an essence of either a god, a goddesses, or Greek gods. You'll have archangel fractals within you, beautiful benevolence. So that's what they explain. So they became these beautiful 7 archangels, and then multiplied into the multiverse of the 7 archangels of our realm. And I believe in the churches they talk about 7 archangels. I'm not sure which ones they have listed, but yeah. So this is their journey and story. So I wanted to share just this beautiful story on a Father's Day of this beautiful session. I want to look and make sure I didn't forget anything here. Yeah. That is it. We'll have some more videos coming up, Friday live videos, so keep an eye on those. And thank you so much. Thank you for being here with me. My infinite love to all your beautiful divine masculines who are are rising this year. As Archangel Michael said, they are rising, divine masculine are rising. So thank you for being that essence within our creation. But I also asked him, I was like, hey, where are the female archangels? He said they're around, but in this perspective, it's just us. They're definitely around, and maybe we'll get more information about them. Well, we have been already through the 13 keys archangels. So yeah, so this is for Father's Day, and all you beautiful masculines, I love you with all that I am. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, share this video, and have a most glorious time with your families. My infinite love to you all. Thank you for being here.